Hey, happy Friday, everybody. February 28th. Dave, Fix and Fly RC. Hey, just a quick update on where I'm at with the completing the build of the Sea Fury. As a kind of reminder, a good friend of mine had started the plane, had already built the wings, had built the fuselage, but it wasn't covered. And for personal reasons, he wasn't going to be able to finish it for a while. So I had it and then kept it around. So I decided to start trying to get it ready to fly. And so I did my first covering job, and I talked about that in a previous video. Not real happy with how my first covering job went. Clearly, that's one of those skills that you have to learn and practice. And so I got the first one done, and but really not happy at all with this blue covering here. The gray's not so bad. I think there's some areas I can need a little touch up, but I think I can take care of that. Blue's just too wrinkly, and I haven't really put a hot gun, the hot iron, real hot iron, to see if I can get those wrinkles out. I'm going to try that here soon. But anyway, got it together. Where I'm at now is I actually got a receiver in it now. I've got all the controls are working, the lights are working, the gears are working, and the next big thing is trying to get the cowl built. And what I've done is I've temporarily mounted the motor, and if you probably can see here, I had a friend of mine 3D print motor mount so I could get the motor out. This motor may be too big. This is the one that he had gave me to go with it. It's off a bigger plane. So when I try to balance it out, the CG and stuff, we'll may see if that's just too much motor. I may have to take the motor down a step, but we'll see. And the prop I have, quite honestly, right here, I don't know. I want to go with a 4-prop. This is just a spare that I have off of my another plane that I got. So I just put it on there just to see what it looks like with the prop on there. So we have that. And so like I said, got a friend this weekend. He is going to start trying to print me a cowl. I found an STL file that he thinks it'll work. So I'll get him the plane, let him see if he can get a cowl to go on there. In the meantime, I tried another method. My friend had built a mold, and you can't see in here, but there's actually a dome section in there to try to go old school, I guess. Problem is I haven't been able to find any kind of plastic jugs that are big enough diameter that I can shrink down. And I attempted here to heat it, see if I could heat it up and get it down to spread out, but it was just too much. And I got it about a third, maybe a halfway down, and it clearly I was going to end up tearing the mold up before I get the plastic down. So I'll end up cutting this loose somehow, getting that loose, and maybe trying to go find another one just to see if I can do it. And you've seen some videos probably, but what I did is just take me a little handle on there. And what I've seen people do is, of course, they just, they have the mold down and they heat it up and just kind of push it down and let it form around. I just may do that later on anyway, just to see. But right now we're gonna go with the 3D printed cowl to go on top of that. So it's good to have friends with 3D printers, because a different friend, the one I got the plane from, printed the motor mount for me, and another friend doing the cowl. So it's a good thing. So that's the next biggest thing, is get the cowl and everything done. And then the last little things, I need to put a tailwheel on here. And did a little digging around, searching. I actually had gone and bought a Dubro tailwheel, wrong one, and the wheel that goes with it. But as I got to looking at it, I didn't really pay enough attention when I ordered. This is a free spinning wheel, and what I mean is that when you mount it to the tail, it doesn't attach to the rudder, so the tail wheel won't turn with the rudder. So you still have to control. When you control it, you can still control it with the rudder, but you got to kind of have enough speed to get some airflow over the rudder. So it's just a little more squirrely. I had a plane that I had built once before, and I tried to put it on there. It did okay, but I just wasn't real happy. So I was actually out flying my Bighorn the other day, and I got to looking at the tailwheel on it, and it appears to be exactly what I need. And so I ordered one of those, and it just came in today, and it'll attach to the bottom of my fuselage, and then it'll screw into the bottom of the rudder, and then it'll turn with the rudder that way. So got to get the tail well attached, get the cowl, and then the next couple thing is coming up with the CG. There's a couple websites out there that have some CG calculators that will help you find the CG. You know, you have to take a lot of measurements and stuff like that, but I did a quick run on it, and it's pretty close up here. So I think it may be, I need to go back and check my numbers. I probably did something wrong, but we'll get to that after I get everything up and running. And then of course I got to size what propeller and all that to put on there. So good thing is it's starting to look like an airplane. Still got a little bit to go to get her the way I want her. I'm looking for some sort of simulated cockpit that maybe I could put in there. Haven't had any luck finding like a 5th scale cockpit, but so if anybody's got any links or ideas on that, I'd appreciate that. And then do some painting and stuff. But what I'm gonna do, before I do too much work, Alex, I want to get her up and make sure she flies. And then if she's flying good, I'm going to come back and do some cosmetic work on it. And I've looked at Cali graphics, and she's got a nice set of graphics that I'll buy and put on there. But going to get her up and flying now that I got everything covered and most there. So maybe a few weeks we'll get a maiden in, and the weather's starting to get better here. Time changes next week. And so we'll have some more sunlight in the afternoon. So hopefully maybe in a couple weeks we'll see a maiden. And unlike the foam planes that I've been fixing that you can just glue back together, a crash on this one obviously would not be good. So clearly be pretty nervous with that. But anyway, I just want to give a quick update where the plane was. And hopefully in the next video we'll have a cowl on it, and maybe a prop and a tail wheel, and we'll at least be able to taxi it around and see how she taxis around. So anyway, hope everybody gets a great weekend of flying in. It's going to be a little windy here this weekend, so hopefully I can squeeze maybe a couple flights in here and there. Otherwise, everybody have a great one. Dave out here, Fix and Fly RC.